Before the Targaryens conquered Westeros, before dragons ruled the skies, another Valyrian house had already crossed the narrow sea, House Velaryon. They were not dragon lords, they were sailors. At their height, they were richer than the Lannisters. Their fleets formed the backbone of royal power, and their blood flowed into the Targaryen line. This is the history of House Velaryon. House Velaryon traces its origins to Old Valyria. Like House Targaryen, they came west before the Doom. But unlike the Targaryens, the Velaryons were no dragon lords. They settled on Driftmark, an island in Blackwater Bay, and built their strength on the sea. They traded, fished, and built ships, controlling traffic through the Gullet and the narrow sea. Where the Targaryens ruled the skies with dragons, the Velaryons ruled the waters with ships. The ancient high seat of House Velaryon on Driftmark was the Driftwood Throne, said to have been given by the Merling King. The house's sigil is a silver seahorse on a background of sea green. Their house words are the old, the true, the brave. And for the first century after Aegon's conquest, the office of Master of Ships became nearly hereditary within House Velaryon. In 10 AC, Sir Corlys Velaryon became the first Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. His elder brother, Lord Aethon Velaryon, served as Master of Ships for Aegon I, fighting pirates in the Stepstones. Aethon's daughter, Alyssa Velaryon, would marry Prince Aenys Targaryen, heir to the Iron Throne. They had 6 children: Rhaena, Aegon, Viserys, Jaehaerys, Alysanne, and Vaela. When King Aenys died and Maegor seized the throne, Alyssa Velaryon became far more than just a royal wife. She fled with her children, protected their claims, and preserved the line that would eventually produce Jaehaerys the Conciliator himself. During the Old King's reign, the Velaryons were more influential than almost any house in the realm. So when Corlys Velaryon, known as the Sea Snake, rose to greatness, he took an already ancient and powerful house and made it legendary. Corlys Velaryon was born on Driftmark in 53 AC, and from childhood he dreamed of the sea. At 6, he crossed the narrow sea to Pentos with an uncle. He kept sailing every year after that, working aboard ships, learning winds and currents, ports and captains. By 16, he captained the Cod Queen from Driftmark to Dragonstone and back. Old Town, Lannisport, Tyrosh, Volantis, the Summer Isles, and Braavos. He even sought, unsuccessfully, a northern passage around Westeros. And then came the voyages that made him famous, the 9 great voyages of the Sea Snake. Corlys designed and built the Sea Snake himself. It was that ship which gave him his name. On his first great voyage, he sailed beyond the Jade Gates to Yi Ti and Leng. He returned with such wealth in spice, silk, and jade that House Velaryon doubled its fortune. On his second, he sailed even farther, to Ashai by the Shadow, the first Westerosi ever to reach it. In Ashai, Corlys lost his love and half his crew. He also believed he saw the Sun Chaser in that dark harbor, the lost ship of Alyssa Farman, vanished west of Westeros years before. On his third great voyage, he sailed the Shivering Sea and became the first Westerosi to navigate the Thousand Islands and see Nagai and Mosovi. On his 9th voyage, he returned with so much wealth that House Velaryon briefly became the richest family in the 7 kingdoms. With his wealth from the east, Corlys transformed Driftmark. The old castle was damp and cramped, so he built a new seat, High Tide, a palace of pale stone with slender towers and roofs of beaten silver. It sat upon a tidal island linked to Driftmark only by causeway at low tide, and around it prosperity bloomed. The town of Hull grew. Spicetown exploded from a fishing village into a rich port. Its wharves were soon filled with ships from the free cities and beyond. Trade that might have gone to Duskendale or King's Landing came instead to Driftmark. By his own hand, Corlys had turned House Velaryon into a naval and commercial giant. In 90 AC, he married Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, the queen who never was, granddaughter of Jaehaerys and daughter of Prince Aemon. But when Prince Aemon died, Jaehaerys passed over Rhaenys and chose his second son, Balon, as heir. Corlys never forgot the slight. When Balon died too, Corlys and Rhaenys threw their weight behind the claim of their son, Laenor, at the Great Council of 101 AC. The Sea Snake's wealth won support, but not enough. Viserys, grandson of Balon, was chosen instead. Years later, after Queen Aemma died, Corlys was passed over again when Viserys refused to marry Corlys's daughter Laena and instead chose Alicent Hightower. By then, House Velaryon had been denied what it believed was within its grasp. He resigned his admiralty, and when the Stepstones became infested with the Triarchy, choking the sea lanes and threatening trade, Corlys joined forces with Viserys' brother, the rogue Prince Daemon Targaryen. The Sea Snake brought the fleet. Daemon brought his dragon. Together, they waged war in the Stepstones. And when Daemon crowned himself King of the Stepstones and the Narrow Sea, it was Corlys who placed the crown upon his brow. Corlys and Rhaenys had two children, Laena and Laenor. Laenor married Rhaenyra Targaryen. Laena married Daemon Targaryen. Laenor rode Seasmoke. Laena rode Vhagar. Their blood, marriages, dragons, and fleets, all of it made House Velaryon indispensable. But it also placed them directly in the path of catastrophe. Laena died in 120 AC. Laenor died soon after, slain by his rumored ex-lover, Sir Carl Corrie, at a fair in Spicetown. That left Corlys with no surviving true-born heirs. And when Corlys himself fell grievously ill in 126 AC, the succession to Driftmark exploded into open conflict. By law, Laenor's eldest son Jaehaerys should inherit, but Jaehaerys already stood to inherit the Iron Throne through Rhaenyra. So Rhaenyra urged Corlys to name her second son, Lucerys, as heir to Driftmark instead. Opposing that claim was Vaemond Velaryon. In the books, Vaemond was Corlys's nephew, not his brother, as in the show. He insisted that Rhaenyra's sons were bastards fathered by Harwin Strong. Daemon Targaryen answered that claim with blood. He beheaded Vaemond. Corlys's kin, who repeated the accusation, later had their tongues removed. The succession was settled, at least for the moment. As Corlys would later say, history does not remember blood, it remembers names. Then, in 129 AC, the Dance of Dragons erupted. When Viserys died and Aegon II seized the throne, Corlys sailed to Dragonstone and pledged House Velaryon to Rhaenyra. He was the greatest lord to join her cause. More than half her army was made up of men sworn to House Velaryon. Corlys's fleets blockaded the Gullet and Blackwater Bay. They choked trade to King's Landing. When some on her council urged Rhaenyra to burn King's Landing, Corlys objected. They meant to rule the city, not reduce it to ash. Then the war began to cut directly into his family. Lucerys Velaryon was sent to Storm's End and killed above Shipbreaker Bay by Aemond and Vhagar. Rhaenys was later sent to Rook's Rest and died fighting Aegon and Aemond above the battlefield. And Corlys, furious, nearly abandoned Rhaenyra's cause. He was brought back only after he was named Hand of the Queen. Soon after came one of the house's stranger turns. Rhaenyra urged the people of Dragonstone to try to claim riderless dragons. Among them were Adam of Hull and his younger brother Alyn. Their mother, Marilda of Hull, claimed they were bastards of House Velaryon. Mushroom, unsurprisingly, claimed they were really Corlys's own sons, kept hidden so as not to offend Rhaenys. Adam succeeded where others failed. He claimed sea smoke. Corlys then petitioned Rhaenyra to legitimize both brothers. She agreed. Adam was named heir to Driftmark. The mighty House Velaryon, whose fleets had once moved kings and queens, now passed its hopes to two boys from the shipyards of Hull. Then came the Battle of the Gullet, one of the bloodiest sea battles in Westerosi history. Otto Hightower had reached across the narrow sea to the Triarchy, hoping to break the Velaryon blockade. 90 warships came out of the Stepstones under Sharako Lohar. At sunrise, they attacked. Jacaerys flew out on Vermax, soon joined by Adam on Seasmoke, as well as the other dragon seeds. Vermax flew too low and was shot down by crossbow bolts, crashing into the water. The young Prince Jacaerys tried to leap free, but was killed. Meanwhile, the southern squadron of the Triarchy bypassed Dragonstone and struck Driftmark. Spicetown was sacked. High Tide was put to the torch. The sea snake's treasures from the east were consumed by fire. The Velaryon fleet lost a third of its strength. Rhaenyra's young son Viserys was captured. Spicetown would never be rebuilt. And Corlys, congratulated afterward on his victory, gave one of the great bitter lines of the dance. "If this be victory, I pray I never win another." Still, the house kept fighting. Corlys's ships later sailed into Blackwater Bay during the fall of King's Landing. But the Blacks were already beginning to rot from within. After Hugh Hammer and Ulf White betrayed Rhaenyra at the Battle of Tumbleton, suspicion fell on the remaining dragon seeds. Rhaenyra ordered Adam arrested. Corlys objected. He called Adam and Alyn true Velaryons. He warned Adam, and for that, Rhaenyra had Corlys beaten and imprisoned. That one decision cost her dearly. The Velaryon fleet abandoned her cause when it learned Corlys sat in the Black Cells. Adam fled. At the Second Battle of Tumbleton, he gathered an army, fell upon the enemy by night, and attacked in chaos and fire. Riding Seasmoke, Adam fought Tessarion, ridden by Prince Daeron, and Vermithor, ridden by Hugh Hammer. All three dragons died, Adam with them. Years later, when his bones were returned to Driftmark, Alyn placed a single word upon his brother's tomb: loyal. When Rhaenyra fled the capital and was killed at Dragonstone, Aegon II retook King's Landing. The sea snake was freed and pardoned. He offered support to Aegon, but on terms. Pardons for those who had fought for Rhaenyra, freedom for his granddaughter Baela Targaryen, who had been captured at Dragonstone, and the marriage of Aegon the Younger, Rhaenyra's last surviving son, to Jaehaera as the basis for peace. After Aegon II was poisoned, Corlys was arrested during the Hour of the Wolf by Lord Cregan Stark, but Baela and Rhaena pleaded for his life. Aegon III pardoned him, and Alysanne Blackwood's bargain with Cregan helped ensure that pardon stood. Corlys Velaryon survived the dance and lived long enough to serve as a regent for the young king Aegon III. He died in 132 AC at the age of 79. His body lay beneath the Iron Throne for a week. Then Marilda of Hull and Alyn carried him back to Driftmark. He was buried at sea aboard his old ship, the Sea Snake, east of Dragonstone. One version says the wild dragon Cannibal flew overhead in salute as the ship sank. After Corlys's death, Alyn Oakenfist became Lord of Driftmark. He lived up to his grandfather's legend. Other Velaryons initially pressed their own claims, but he survived assassination attempts and reconciled rival branches of the house. When he tried to claim his late grandfather's spot on the council, he was refused. Too young, the regents said. Then came Baelor Targaryen. Escaping a marriage the regents tried to force upon her, she fled to Driftmark and married Alyn, tying House Velaryon once again to the blood of Daemon and Rhaenyra. In 133 AC, Alyn was named Lord Admiral. He fought in the Daughters' War and in the Stepstones, where he shattered enemy ships and earned the name Oakenfist. He was knighted by the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard and officially made Master of Ships by the King. That same year, he was sent west against Dalton Greyjoy, the Red Kraken, in a mission Unwin Peake likely hoped would kill him. Instead, it became the first of Alyn's 6 great voyages. He stopped at Bloodstone, dealt with Ricalio Rindoon, travelled to Sunspear, where Alliandra Martell took a liking to him, then to Old Town, where he visited the Citadel and was blessed in the Starry Sept. He reached the west too late to fight Dalton Greyjoy, but left ships to defend the coast, then learned Prince Viserys was alive in Lys and sailed there to negotiate his return. Where Corlys had 1 great ship, Alyn sailed 6, his ladies. He later helped put down a rebellion in the Vale, defeated Selsales at Gulltown, and secured the cause of Joffrey Arryn. In 157 AC, under King Daeron I, Alyn played a decisive role in the conquest of Dorne. His fleet broke the Dornish navy at Plankytown, swept up the Greenblood, and returned again during a later rebellion. He had several children with Baelor, though their marriage was often stormy, and was rumored to have lovers, including Princess Aelena Targaryen, with whom he had 2 bastard children. In the end, around 176 AC, Alyn Velaryon disappeared at sea, a fitting end for one of House Velaryon's finest seafarers. House Velaryon would never again reach the same height, but it did not vanish. Daenerys Velaryon became the second wife of Aegon III and mother to the future kings Daeron I and Baelor the Blessed, as well as the sisters Dana, Rhaena, and Elena. A century later, during the reign of the Mad King Aerys II, Lucerys Velaryon served as Master of Ships. During Robert's Rebellion in 282 AC, House Velaryon supported the Targaryens. After Robert's victory, Dragonstone was granted to Stannis Baratheon, and the Velaryons became sworn to House Baratheon of Dragonstone. During the War of the Five Kings in 299 AC, Lord Montfort Velaryon answered Stannis's call to war. At the Battle of the Blackwater, Montfort died when his ship, the Pride of Driftmark, burned. His young son Monterys inherited, and the house, though diminished, endured. Then came Aurane Waters, the bastard of Driftmark. Young, silver-haired, Valyrian enough to remind Cersei of Rhaegar. Cersei made him her master of ships. He built her a fleet, and then he stole it. By the winds of winter, Aurane Waters is now a pirate king in the Stepstones, styling himself the Lord of the Waters. Even in decline, House Velaryon still produces exactly the same kind of men it always has. Sea lords and adventurers. Men who know that power can be seized from the water when it cannot be won on land. Not kings, not dragon lords. A house forged in salt, wind, and sea. They rose higher than almost any house in Westeros,